Welcome to our series on geography. Today, let us understand the theory of plate tectonics. And we will be studying about the following techniques or the aspects of this plate tectonics. Number one is introduction to theory of plate tectonics, concept of plate tectonics and plate boundaries, causes and rates of movement of plate tectonics, consequences of plate tectonics, and lastly, plate tectonics and in and around Indian subcontinent. Now let me come to the first aspect, introduction to theory of plate tectonics. In this section, we are dealing with the most recent discoveries of the Earth's crust. These have provided highly valuable findings related to geology, geochemistry, and geophysics in understanding not only the Earth's crustal dynamics but also the contents of the Earth's crust. To be specific, since 1960s, these discoveries have given substantial scientific understanding of upper crustal plates, that is the continent. Now let me come to the second aspect of this today's episode, namely concept of plate tectonics and plate boundaries. The concept of plate tectonics suggests that the Earth's surface layers are divided into large segments on plates. The plates are approximately 100 kilometers thick and therefore include the Earth's crust together with the part of the upper mantle, but measures thousands of kilometers across. According to findings, that there are 6 major plates and there are about 20 minor plates. Now, if you carefully observe figure number 1, you will get the details of 6 major plates like our own Indian plate, which constitute peninsular India, all Indian Ocean, Australia, then African plate, entire Africa, adjoining ocean portions, and American plate, which includes both North America, South America, and also Eurasian plate, entire Europe, Asia and Asia put together. So apart from this, you have Asian Pacific plate and also some other minor plates, which are around 20. Now let me come to further aspects of this plate tectonics. Plates move over the Earth's face of the Earth, either move away from one adjacent plate towards another and between further pair. These plate movements result in 3 types of plate boundaries. I will come back to the figures a little later. First type of boundary refers to a boundary where 2 plates move apart. It also happens that a fissure develops, allowing hot molten rock well up from the mantle, that is the zone on Earth between the crust and the core, extending from 50 kilometers to 2,900 kilometers depth, and to form a new plate material as it solidifies. The fissure is called spreading or pulling apart zone, and this type of plate boundary is known as constructive plate boundary. If you look at the figure number 2, you will clearly understand that see there is the destructive plate boundary, constructive plate boundary, and also this is on right side you have the destructive plate boundary. Also on the left side also you have the destructive boundary, but in between you have constructive plate boundary. I will give you some more details about these boundaries one by one. Now these constructive plate boundaries or divergent plate margins or refers to they lie quite away from the shores of continental land masses on deep ocean floor. We see such constructive plate boundaries, example mid-Atlantic oceanic ridge, say between American and Europe and also Africa, Indian mid-oceanic ridge between Africa and Southwest Indian plates, and Pacific ridge between Southwest Northern America, west of South America, and Southeast Australia in the deeps of Pacific Ocean. So you have to carefully study these 2 maps or the figures, so you will understand where exactly these ridges lie and all that. Okay. Second type of plate boundary due to plate tectonics a plate boundary where two plates collide. In the process of plate tectonics, the more denser plate will normally be deflected beneath. The less denser and denser one will be destroyed and absorbed at the depths into mantle. Such plate destruction takes place at the zone of subduction, and the boundary is known as destructive plate boundary or convergent plate margin. In fact, this type of boundaries happens to be closer to continental land masses, that is the coastal zones of the continents. For example, the Western Pacific subduction plate boundary, which forms one of the dangerous sections on the Earth's surface, it is also known as Pacific Girdle Fire, is closer to Japan, Philippines and New Zealand. All along west coast of North and South American continents, other segments of the Pacific Ring of Fire also forms this kind of subduction plate boundary between denser Pacific plate and lighter American continental plate. Now let me come to the third type of plate boundary due to plate tectonics. Boundaries where two plates slide past one another. In the process of plate movements, there are situations where two plates slide past one another. These are known as shear margins, while little, if any, interaction takes place between rocks or plates on either side. These are also known as the transform fault margins. It appears that this kind of shear zone plate boundaries occur near junctions of mid-oceanic ridge. You have to refer once again the map number 1, figure number 2 for the clear understanding of say this kind of shear zones or the plate boundaries. A careful study of figure number 1 shows such shear zones of plate. Example, in South Pacific, where the Atlantic northern plate boundary meets Nazca plate and American southern plate boundaries. One such shear zone happens in South Atlantic and South Indian Oceanic mid-ocean ridge meeting Antarctic plate boundary respectively. Now let us come to the third aspect of this episode, namely the causes and rates of movement of plates. Now first one, causes. It also clearly understood through C4 plating concept. Geophysical findings of Harry and Hess and others have established that the mid-oceanic ridges were situated on the rising thermal convection currents coming up from the mantle. So to see this clearly, you have to refer figure number 3. In this, in the center, you have the magma welling up from the mantle going on either side. Below the continents, the black portion shows the Sial or the continents, and this kind of convection currents of this magma ultimately below the continent once again goes down in the whole process of plate tectonics. See, this can be seen at several places on the below the Earth's crust. The oceanic crust moves in opposite directions from mid-oceanic ridges, and thus there is a continuous upwelling of new molten materials or lava along the mid-oceanic ridges. This, according to the plate tectonics, molten lavas cool down and solidify to form a new crust along the trailing ends of divergent plates of mid-oceanic ridges. Thus, there is a continuous creation of new crust and mid-oceanic ridges. This proves that sea floor spreads along the mid-oceanic ridges and the expanding crust plates are destroyed along the oceanic trenches. These facts prove that the continents and ocean basins are in constant motion. Then the other related aspect related to ocean floor spreading is magnetic profiles along the ridges or the mid-oceanic ridges. W.G. Wine and Edward Matthews have conducted the magnetic survey of the central part of the Carlsberg Ridge in the Indian Ocean and computed the magnetic profiles on the basis of general magnetism. When they compared the computed magnetic anomalies plotted on the basis of actual data obtained during the survey, and they found that there is a sizable difference between the two profiles. When they plotted the magnetic profiles on the basis of alternate bands of normal and reverse magnetism in separate strips of 20 kilometers width on either side of the ridge, they found complete parallelism between the compound profiles and observed profiles. For this, we have to see the next figure, number 4. This figure shows the position of magnetic strips on either side of the mid-oceanic ridge along with their time scale of their formation. This also proves that there is a continuous spreading of ocean floor. New basaltic crust is continuously formed along the mid-oceanic ridges. The newly formed basaltic layer is divided into 2 equal halves and is thus displaced from the mid-oceanic ridge. Alternate stripes of positive and negative magnetic anomalies are found on either side of the mid-oceanic ridges. Such magnetic, that is positive and negative anomalies, are found because of temporal reversal of the magnetic field. The rocks formed during the normal magnetic field contain positive magnetic anomalies, while the rocks formed during reverse polarity, reverse magnetic have a reverse magnetic field. These denote negative, positive anomalies in these newly formed cool lava material. The third important aspect under this episode is the rates of seafloor spreading. Recent ocean floor geophysical empirical findings have shown that the Pacific Ocean floor is spreading faster than the Atlantic and Indian Ocean floors. Pacific Ocean floor spreading is 6 to 9 centimeters per year on one side of the ridge, that is 12 to 18 centimeters on either side of the put together along the ridges. In some of its sections, like along the eastern Pacific ridges between equator and 30 degrees south latitude, is still more. Whereas the southern Atlantic Ocean is spreading along southern Atlantic ridge at the rate of 2 centimeters per year. Total expansion comes to something like 4 centimeters per year. The Indian Ocean floor spreading is at the rate of 1.5 to 3 centimeters per year, including the total expansion of 3 to 6 centimeters per year. From this, it becomes clear that Indian and Atlantic Oceans are expanding sluggishly and also have relatively less number of earthquakes and even in their frequency. But the Pacific Ocean is expanding rather fast with its ring of fire around and also with its more frequent, even violent earthquakes. Now, in this episode, the fourth important aspect is consequences of plate tectonics. The first aspect is that plate tectonics and continental displacement. Findings related to paleomagnetism of earth crust and seafloor spreading have revealed that the continents and ocean basins have never been stationary or permanent. Rather, they have always been mobile throughout the geological history of the earth. In fact, this is the essence of this theory of plate tectonics. They are still moving in relation to other. Our scientists have discovered sufficient evidences to demonstrate the opening and closing of ocean basins. For example, the Mediterranean Sea is the residual of once very vast ocean called Sea of Tethys, and the Pacific Ocean is continuously contracting because of its gradual subduction near American plate. On the other hand, the Atlantic Ocean is continuously expanding for the past 4 million years. Red Sea has started to open up, that is expanding. It may be mentioned that continental masses come closer to each other when oceans begin to close, while continents are displaced away when the oceans begin to open or expand. Geophysical investigations about Earth's paleomagnetism in particular have shown that about 700 million years back ago, all the land masses were united together in the form of one giant landmass known as Pangaea 1. Little later, around 600 to 500 million years before present, this first Pangaea was broken because of thermal convective currents coming from within the Earth's mantle, and continents were drifted apart. These land masses were again united due to plate tectonics and again formed into one big land mass known as Pangaea 2, about 300 to 200 million years before present. There is a figure number 5. From that you can see that there is on the top, there is a geological time scale indicating the years in terms of million years before present, about the presence of one Pangaea 1 and the other one Pangaea 2. As just now you learned that around 700 million years back during Precambrian times there was Pangaea 1, and due to the first type of plate tectonics, that continents gradually drifted apart, came together by 3000 million years back, and around 200 million years back the Pangaea 2 existed, and that started drifting apart, and now we have the drifting continents on the second phase on the Earth's surface. So this second Pangaea broke around 200 million years before present in the early Jurassic period, and Africa detached from North America and drifted away. The zone of seafloor spreading continued to extend towards north and south. The separation of South America and Africa was accomplished during Middle Cretaceous period. North America and Europe began to move away from each other. There is one more figure you can see a little later. Opening up of North America was accomplished many phases. After the separation of North America from Africa, Europe and Greenland broke away from Labrador during late Cretaceous period, that is 80 million years before present, and thus Labrador was formed. This newly formed sea continued to remain for some time as northern extension of Atlantic Ocean. Labrador Sea and North Atlantic continued to expand between Europe and Greenland up to Middle Miocene period because of the European and American plates continued to move eastward and westward respectively. So in this figure number 6, you can see how the first primordial continent existed around 700 million years back. Gradually it separated in the form of Angara land, Gondwana land of the first phase. Then in the third sequence you can see how continents have been drifted, and in the last you see how continents now have come to present stage. The fifth one shows the present position. This figure also incidentally tells or shows you that in another 50 million years from now on how the continents will be positioned due to plate tectonics. You carefully go through the legend, you will understand the details. Now let me come to further aspects of the plate tectonics. Indian Ocean did not exist before the Cretaceous period. Indian plate began to move towards the East Eurasian Asiatic plate through Tethys Sea and Australian Antarctic plates after breaking away from African plate began to move southward during the Cretaceous period. Mackenzie and Johns Salter, who have contributed great to the theory of platonics, have presented the chronological sequence of the evolution of the Indian Ocean on the basis of the magnetic anomalies. According to them, Indian plate began to move northwards at the rate of 18 centimeters per year. At the same time, Antarctica plate broke away from Australia. Thus, the Pacific Ocean began to shrink in size because of the expansion of Atlantic and Indian Oceans. We have referred this already when we were talking about the plate movements also. There are two specific case studies which prove further the plate tectonics. Red Sea spreading at the rate of total 2 centimeters per year since 3 to 4 million years. In fact, Red Sea and Gulf of Aden are located at the junction of three plates, namely Nubian plate, Somali plate and Arabian plate. Incidentally, these are minor plates. Sometimes you may not see all of them on a given world map. In the course of geological history, in post-tertiary times, Nubian and Somali plates are separated from Ethiopian fault. West Asian frequent earth phenomena are linked to movement of these plate tectonics. Now let me come to the last aspects of this episode, namely plate tectonics in and around our Indian subcontinent. From the previous discussion, it is amply clear that Indian and its southern neighborhoods, including Indian Ocean and Australia, are one of the major plates, that is Indian plate. This plate is moving northerly direction, and this plate movement since 200 million years has pushed Indian plate against the Eurasian plate. Consequently, West Ocean existed in between Eurasia and Gondwana. India particularly shrunk its sea, folded beds raised and formed mighty Himalayas. According to geologists, still Himalayas are rising by a few centimeters per year, which is due to plate tectonics. However, according to recent geophysical investigations, Indian plate has shear zones on its eastern sides and strikes against passive plate, that is the Southeast Asian side. When you go towards Malaysia or very close to the Sumatra portion, see that is the Southeast Asian side, Indian plate meets the Pacific plate. This leads to violent earthquakes, often with worst tsunamis. For example, in the year 2007, near Bandai H, subterranean earthquake took place. It is because of some kind of friction which happened between Indian plate and the Pacific plate. This earthquake destroyed a portion of Andaman and Nicobar Islands, which is also the last point of India. There is India Indira Point. It was formerly known as Pygmalion Point, is drowned, and now it is in deep waters of Southeast Bay of Bengal. In this zone, we have our lonely dormant volcano, namely Barren Island, which is located towards northeast of Port Blair in Andamans. In this towards western neighborhoods, Indian plate has shear zones of Arabian and Somalia plates of African plates. I think figure number 7 amply shows you or clearly shows you some of these zones. Though the later forms divergent plate boundary under Red Sea zone, the Arabian plate has impacts on minor collision with Indian plate. It appears that very high magnitude earthquake which took place in 2001 in Gujarat has a link with this slide with side of plate tectonics. On to the southernmost plate boundary, as it is a divergent boundary, Indian plate has relatively peaceful crustal conditions, that is towards Antarctica. However, seismologists are of the opinion that Indian continental plate, that is the peninsular India, is getting older, which may trigger geological lineaments as active earthquake zones in years to come. Now let us come to the conclusion of this today's episode. Plate tectonic is about the study of the formation of the major earth structures of the earth's surface, that is the continents, ocean ridges, etc., by the movement and interaction of the plates of the Earth's crust. There are constructive plate boundaries where plates move apart, leading to upwelling of magma and formation of mid-oceanic ridges. There are also subduction zones where there are destructive plate boundaries, leading to overriding a lighter continental plates and subduction of denser plates. In some cases, plate boundaries simply slide past each other, forming shear zones of plate boundaries, leading to formation of transform faults. At the ocean floor ridges, there is upwelling of magma or lava, spread new basalt material on either side of the fissure, which show stripes and bands of varying magnetism. Recent geophysical scientific studies have provided the spread of ocean floor and hereby validating the theory of continental plates moving either closer or theory of continental plates moving either closer or away along their oceanic crustal portions. Further, recent studies across Indian, Atlantic and Eastern Pacific have yielded that Pacific Ocean floor is dynamic and in fact gradually shrinking, whereas Indian and Atlantic oceans, as their continental plates are drifting away, are widening and experience rather slow spreading. Northward movement of Indian plate has led to drying up of Sea of Tethys and formation of mighty Himalayas. In its eastern neighborhood, Indian plate has dynamic plate boundary and hence as we experience often earthquakes like the one which caused tsunamis in the year 2007. Of course, the knowledge of this plate tectonics helps us see some kind of natural health hazards management, particularly preparing for the tsunamis by understanding the plate movements, plate boundaries and their dynamism. Thank you.